and just listen.
Wait, is this the thing where he said, "I will punch this guy in the face"?
And learn what you were thinking. Fair enough?
Go for it.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
Hopefully, nice guy.
Well, I just wrapped up my previous class. I was talking to my friends. We were all in a call, so we could all hear each other, and we were talking to them. And me and my friends were talking. I'm not sure what the exact topic was. We were talking, and I joined Mr. Smith's class. And it's only in Mr. Smith's. When you first join, your mic isn't muted by default. So I was talking to my friends, not realizing that my mic was unmuted. And then you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I didn't get the exact wording. But you know, I was talking and you heard me, and you said I was looking for attention, which wasn't the case. It was a simple mistake. I didn't realize the mic wasn't muted by default. And then I apologized. And you said I was dragging on the conversation more and looking for more attention, which again wasn't true. I was apologizing because it was an honest mistake on my part. And then you asked me for a response because you said if I was done or not, and I figured if I responded to you, that would also be seen as me looking for attention. So I didn't say anything. And then you toned up your voice, and I responded. And then I'm not exactly sure what you said. And I thought I had muted my mic, and then I said some things that I probably shouldn't have said.
No, and then you said, I said some things I mean, and I still mean, and I wanted to find you at the time, Alex.
Well, I really couldn't tell you. I didn't really sit there and you know try to think to myself what I was thinking.
Alright, because I'm going to push you on this question.
No, Alex, you should say, I hate this guy, and you tell you I hate you.
Because it's going to explain why you probably ended up saying what you did. So, in your initial description, you went through and you said, you know, what happened, kind of factually. I really want to know, what were you thinking at the time when Mr. Smith was saying you were seeking attention?
Just say that. Just say I'll punch him in the face.
Just say like you were annoyed or something.
Well, I think my emotions are pretty clearly displayed by what I said.
All right, can you put words to it for me?
I won't punch you in the face.
I want to drop kick him in the chest.
A couple adjectives that are acceptable.
Say it, Alex. Alex, wait.
Give me a little time to think about it.
Don't choke,
okay,
Alex.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth.
What do you want me to say?
You're angry.
He's trying to. I think she's trying to prove that you said that.
Just say yes. I did say it.
Say yeah. I'm very angry. I'm still angry about it because it's just stupid.
Yeah.
He disrespects me for no reason when I try and be respectful constantly. So yeah, I'm mad. Why wouldn't I be mad?
So what were you thinking?
Well, reflecting on it now and looking back, I think I was more. This has happened in other classes with other teachers,
not
other students, and I've never seen a teacher handle it like this. It was a clear and honest mistake, and I apologized thoroughly for it. And yet he was still hounding me about it when I apologized and clearly stated that it was a mistake. I was extremely frustrated, and I don't understand why it was handled this way. It could have been a simple, "Hey, Alex, could you just mute your mic? It's not on," or something like that, and we would never been here in the first place. So I don't know. I don't think I have any clear emotions.
Mr. Randall Smith, like, damn, lose my job today.
Let him talk. He needs to concentrate. Shut up.
You know, spot on.
Well, you said you were frustrated, so that helps to put things into context.
Alex, you gotta say I was being respectful, and he kept disrespecting me.
What have you thought
over and
about
over again.
since? You ended up making a comment that you don't even want to repeat right now. So what have you been thinking about since?
Just say, yeah, I've been thinking of punching this guy in the face.
I want to smash his brains in with a rock like a monkey. Like a monkey smash walnuts.
Well, could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, what have you been thinking about since?
Well, I've obviously been thinking about, my comments have been...
What if when he asked you the question, he's so short, seeking for attention, huh?
Said anything like that. But I've also been thinking about how the situation was handled, and the things could have gone differently to, not result in us being here. I think there were things on both of our ends that could have been drastically different. Like I stated before, this has happened in other classes, other students, other teachers, and every single one of them has said, "Hey, could you just mute your mic?" The mic wasn't muted, and it was an honest mistake. I don't understand why we had to continue the conversation after that. I thoroughly apologized, and I don't see why that wasn't the end of it. So I really don't know what else to say.
It wasn't the end of it because you fucking
Okay.
told him you wanted
So
to
who's
punch
been
him in the
affected
face.
by what you did? So that now, we've talked about kind of the whole situation. We're going to focus
You say
in on you.
I thought I was
Who's
muted.
been affected by it?
Yeah,
What
yeah, I
do you-
meant it, but I thought I was muted, so I apologize.
Alex, do not apologize. You're gonna
Oh,
stand your fucking ground.
what did
Or you're getting in trouble.
you ask me?
Bro,
She
Dad,
said-
just can you repeat that?
Can you say that one more time?
Yep, who's been affected by what you
No.
did on that particular day?
My
And
phone's
it's
been
only about
laughing.
you.
You gotta say.
How
I've
would
been
it affected
affected.
me? I mean, I wouldn't, other than my mom talking to me. I don't think it hasn't necessarily affected me much. I mean, maybe some of
Hold
my.
on. Don't think you got the question. Who has been affected by it?
Oh.
So you,
No one.
you,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mom,
So me, my mom, Mr. Smith, I guess, and other students in the class.
Mr. Maris.
And you obviously, because we all have to be here sitting and discussing something that shouldn't happen in the first place.
Okay.
He's driving the point. Oh my god.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
What
keep on
way
fucking-
Have these people been affected? And it's probably different ways for
In a
different
meaningless way. In a meaningless way.
So
This question.
you can kind of go through. So let's start, Mr. Smith.
She's
in
acting
what
like
way
he raped a
has he
frog
been
in class.
affected?
Wait,
Well, obviously, I can't speak for him and speak for his emotions, but
That's why
I'm
he should
sure
speak for
it's
himself.
Had a negative connotation. If he wants to let me know his feelings regarding the situation, that's perfectly fine with me.
Nope, I'm going
Um,
to push you again, Alex, because this is really
Yeah.
important that we do it this way. Because
Randall just
what
had
I'm trying
me
to
send
do
it
is
to the
get
girlfriend.
understanding
No,
Wait,
she
shh,
asked Randall
through the
Smith.
conversation, and so I need you to kind of share that you understand the position you put Mr. Smith in. So how has
He's
Mr.
like a
Smith been
45
affected?
Position to get punched in the face.
Well, obviously, he had to take the time out of his class to handle a situation outside
Very
of it. I'm
negatively.
not sure exactly what you're trying to ask me, but
So the phrase being said in front of class, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. Right? That's what
Clip it and use it out of context.
well, I'm not sure.
In front of an entire class.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I've never been in that position, so I'm not sure
That's
how
too
I
good.
could
That is
describe
gold.
that to you.
He's a 45-year-old man. He's not been told he's gonna get punched in the fucking face.
What do you
He's
think?
a retard.
You're a bright young man. I think you can.
You just say I wouldn't
I'm
really
not gonna
care
lie, they
much
called
from a
Alex a
45-year-old
good
man.
man.
It doesn't matter the teacher. Like what?
I understand. Well, in my if you want to know my opinion, if somebody had said that to me, I quite frankly wouldn't necessarily care. Obviously, in front of the whole class, this can be seen as embarrassing, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Or, obviously, he had to take the time out of his class, instruction
Alex,
time.
everyone, oh my god,
He's
Mr. Mayor said the
But,
He's just roasting him, flaming him.
I really don't know how to respond to that. I've never been in.
Why is Alex
that
on
situation.
Obama? He was going,
Can I
I
throw something in there? Do you think that there's a matter of respect that was
Oh
Yeah, he's
my
no
God.
respect, baby.
lacking in that?
Yeah, he
interaction?
disrespected
He
me.
respect lacking for
He's
you.
respectful
Yeah, of
for the
course,
first
but
couple
I-
of times.
Well, obviously that wasn't what I said was not meant to be aired to the entire classroom. I thought I had muted my mic, but it hadn't been. But I think, yeah, that my comments were extremely disrespectful. But on the same note, I think him hounding me nonstop over what was clearly a mistake was also pretty disrespectful. I mean, I was extremely respectful at the beginning of the conversation. I was talking to my friends not about anything inappropriate. I think we were having a political discussion.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I
actually,
had profusely apologized for what I had done, speaking in class, which was an accident. Stuff
Alex
happened.
really had to be like, yeah, we having a
And-
discussion on philosophy.
And he kept
Philosophy
going
Alex
after
are
me about it, and I don't know.
I'll give you an invite to the
that
server
was-
if you'd like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
Hey,
say.
you want to go to the call?
And do you think you handled it in an appropriate fashion?
You invite
No.
Mr. Reyes.
No, my comments weren't justified, but
No bind, no duck.
I mean-
Yeah, so easy.
No, you should say they
All
were.
right,
regardless.
Alex, you
and-
admitted you're
and
wrong.
You've done a really good job of explaining how you got to
Alex,
that
you
point.
moron.
so,
You admitted you're wrong.
What? Who cares?
I've heard that. I'm sure Mr. Smith
Yeah,
has heard
I
that
literally-
as well.
on every other
And then-
point.
You mentioned there's Mr. Smith. There's also the class So the entire class.
Dude, the class, they found it funny, and it goes through the class.
They're traumatized. They're
How did that
traumatized.
affect the class, do you think?
You should,
No
you
way,
should
literally no way.
Well, regarding that, I quite a few class members text me afterwards, about what had happened in class.
They thought it was hilarious.
We're all in 10th grade, and I don't think this really, hearing the F word really affected them in any meaningful way. I'm sure it's not their first time.
Shit, it's not the first time, maybe Judah Smith.
So
but
let me give in. I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. So it's more than just using the F.
Oh my god, threatening verbal assault. No. Then you stop scaring the cats.
What was the question? I was laughing too hard.
Is that accurate?
Alex?
What, my comments? Yeah, those were my comments. I don't know
and
why.
It's more than.
It would be easier if you were just more blunt with what you're trying to get out of me.
Well, I'm trying to help you get there, Alex. So
Oh my gosh.
because my purpose, I can impose thinking on you, but I don't want to impose thinking on you. I want you to
Alex,
get
Wrong thing education camp.
the comment you made was, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
And that said to a teacher in front of a class.
Dini, come here.
How does that affect the class?
Literally no way.
They stopped working for 5 minutes. Or 2 minutes.
I
They
don't have a
laughed.
good answer here. I'm gonna be honest.
Just say they laughed. You're welcome, class.
What to
Your
say?
mic's muted.
Alex, your mic's
Talk
muted.
about how the class
Next meeting.
works, community, those things.
No, the
Based
community.
off their comments to me after class, it didn't seem like it affected them in any
Mike
drastic
is
way. But
muted.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
So the
Mike
bad-
has been muted.
Do you have any answer for me?
Mike is
Alex,
muted, Alex.
Mike is muted,
Mike is muted, Alex.
Just say you were
I wasn't
talking.
muted, my apologies. Yeah. Well, I regarding the effect on the class, I don't know. I mean, they.
Said Alex,
Based off their comments afterwards, they weren't necessarily too upset about it from what I took from their conversations with me. I mean, it was obviously, again, like I said, it was an unwarranted comment, but I don't necessarily see how that had impacted the classroom very deeply. I'm sure they heard that or worse before.
Maybe.
I don't think it's very common in a classroom, honestly.
Oh, maybe not in the classroom, yeah, but
Right.
outside of that setting, I'm sure the majority of those people have heard that connotation before.
No, they have not.
Right, and so
You should.
again, it's in context. So in context within a classroom. Yep, they've heard those words outside of a classroom, but within a classroom, that's
No,
what makes
why does it matter, though?
exceptional.
Why does it
That's
matter?
what makes it out of the norm, right? And I know that you intended to have your mic muted, right? So we know that. So it wasn't, there's that piece, but it happened. And because it happened,
But what does she want from me?
how do you think it affected the class?
Oh my god.
Alex, get angry. Be like, you know what?
Just Alex, just be like they stopped working for like a minute and a half. And
No,
then
no, no.
I
Alex,
think
let
the
it
class
out.
was really
Alex, let it out.
comfortable after that.
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Well,
I was laughing.
I mean,
They're giggling.
I could hear them laughing, so I'm assuming they weren't too upset. I mean, you've asked me this question 3 times, and I've given you my best answer, and I don't really know what else to say. I mean,
No,
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
You should just send
What
the
do you think you
big.
have to do to make things right? With the
Nothing.
class and with you?
Nothing. Just say don't apologize to Mr. Smith.
No, you have to.
I just say,
I think
I'm not
Mr. Smith
I
should apologize to
really
me.
apologize to Mr. Smith. Obviously when the first transgression occurred, when I was
The first
talking,
transgression.
when my mic was muted, or sorry, when it wasn't muted, and it was nothing inappropriate. I apologize for that profusely. And
How about after the second?
Well, the other statement.
You used
Ethan.
language that
Well, yeah, no, of course I had to apologize.
Why
I think
is he
in my
getting
email,
angry, letting
I
it
did
out?
apologize to him. What's it called? If I find to do that again verbally, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm extremely sorry for what happened in class. It was it was a mistake on my end, obviously. Going in,
Whoever streamed
but
doesn't watch it.
also,
Watch it.
I know.
what I said afterwards was unacceptable, and I've been on that. I haven't disagreed with that this entire conversation.
Dude,
just confused about
this
what you're
lady is
asking.
ruthless.
Okay. And
She's like interrogating Alex.
questions. They're put
I
out
know.
by
Like, he
this,
didn't do anything wrong. But
program
what is
that
she expecting
focuses
to
on
happen?
She's trying to be the good cop.
It's really, they're just
Yeah, she's
specific
trying to like
questions.
get him to
Alex
incriminate
did
himself.
she was wrong, and now what's going on? What did I
You
say?
hear the other person's.
You're gonna get sent to wrong
and you
think
build
education.
understanding
Wait,
of the whole situation rather than someone just coming in and saying, hey, this is what happened.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not trying to trick you up. It's actually trying to know what the heck was going through your head.
I was
Right.
mad.
So I'm going to
I'm gonna tear
ask
into her
Mr.
asshole.
Smith the same exact
Yeah,
question.
I was gonna say we should. I would like to hear his
Right? And so,
understanding
again,
of the situation.
and then we're just like with you, we're just going to be quiet. We're just going to listen. It's just like your, you know, your experience is your experience. We're going to listen
Bro,
to Mr.
let's hear
Smith's
it.
experience because
Wait
that's his.
there.
Alex is what Alex.
He's about to spit a
So,
stupid
Mr.
rap
Smith,
battle.
what happened?
Everyone shush.
What
happened?
Everyone shh.
Well, where do you want to start?
Oh, it sounds like
First time he interrupted class, or the second?
He sounds like he sounds like he was crying.
Just tell me what happened.
Sounds like he has something
Okay.
fucking
We
I'm
had
gonna
a previous go round about a week before where he.
I'm gonna tear into
First
him.
of all, a factual thing. All my Zoom calls
This
are
is
set
better
to,
than the presidential debate.
When people come
Alex
in,
said he's gonna tear.
He would have to
ass
actually.
bacon. Oh, I'm sorry.
Shut up, Will.
I profusely
Okay, I
apologize.
just needed those.
So
Me too.
just to
Yeah.
be clear about that.
Sad.
That would be a choice. But at any rate, he comes into the call. He's on time, and then there's talk
on
going
time,
on, and I immediately ask him, "Okay, when you're done interrupting, let me know."
That's not what he said,
And then
but okay.
a torrent of explanations. Oh, I was just talking to my friend. Right? Okay. Well, are you done interrupting me?
That's not what he said.
Back and
That's
forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then
I had this whole thing secretly coded. I did not say that.
More or less, as I recall it.
Imagine
Well,
if you
first it was
clipped
the
it.
initial denial.
You brought up the clip.
Was this thing on? I wasn't saying anything. I was like, yeah, you were.
no, that's not what. Dude, this guy's just lying out of his ass.
Saying something about politics, Alex. I'm trying to start a lesson here. Oh, I was just talking to my friends. Let me keep explaining.
Say other people the Zoom call. We knew they would happen.
You've had enough attention. Let me know. And then he keeps rambling.
I never kept. No,
And
dude, this guy.
then I had to
Lie.
escalate it. So if you don't stop interrupting,
It's Biden, bro.
You have choices. Like I just throw you out of the Zoom call.
This is fake news, the other.
Okay, no, he was talking to me completely differently.
Make a decision. I'm waiting.
Bro, he's trying to save his job right now.
Yep.
Then I said, Alex, I'm owed an answer. Are you done interrupting me? And then just a second or two after that, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about
And my answer to that was, whoa, no need for that. Why don't you just settle down and come back when you're ready to learn? I thought you would leave the Zoom call, but apparently you didn't. Or maybe you left the room. I don't know what you did after that. And then a few seconds after that, I said, wow, I've just been threatened.
Oh,
He's literally ready.
He's like, I got raped on an online GTA game.
As I recall, nobody laughed.
oh no, they were laughing.
I was laughing.
So it took probably another 10 minutes to get into the rhythm.
That's
of the
not
lesson
true.
And start
This-
keeping the objectives.
This seems
That's
blatantly
not
At the
false
end
to
of the
me.
lesson,
No,
years
this
ago,
is
I
just
noticed
not
Alex
true.
was still in the call, and I
Yeah.
said, "Hey,
Yeah.
look, I want to talk to you." And
I know he
then
is.
He logged off exactly at the time that happened, and then I got an email shortly thereafter saying that I forwarded to you, Ms. Damaris. At no point during that call or in that email did I see any apology for the behavior that I saw.
He just apologized.
I literally.
Instead of apologizing, he was trying to explain his behavior as somehow just.
Okay. Hold on.
So, and
No!
I wrote the incident report,
No.
and here we are.
Go off.
He might go off, I guess.
That I've been teaching for 19 years, and I've never been threatened by a student.
Oh,
so that's new.
Threatened. He said, I want to punch you in the
It's
face.
literally Alex. How did you
Literally Alex.
That.
This is my exact email. My
It's sort of
apologies
like when
regarding
people
not
are
staying
far
after
away, it's easy
class.
to get
I wasn't
mad
at my
at
computer in the last
first,
10 minutes of class because I had to get my
and
little brother on
it's
the Zoom call. I
like,
hope you can understand.
When you're driving, people will behave in ways that they wouldn't when they're in person, right? And I think the distance with Zoom creates some type of distance that if Alex had been in the room, I don't think this would have happened.
Because he wouldn't have had to mute his mic.
On all people's parts that this is not an ideal situation, and that we need to be patient with each other and patient with ourselves. And also, I would say that there's a,
This guy thinks he's like some.
Dude, he's saying he was scared.
especially given I put a lot of work into you last year, Alex, right? Trying to get you through everything, Westminster and all that. we're not having a great time with the distance learning situation. I put a lot of extra effort into trying to get you engaged and trying to make it possible for you to finish the semester strong. And I felt like, you know, that effort was not just, you know, acknowledged, like you threw it back in my face. It's like,
yes,
you know, this is the thanks I get.
Really? This guy's ever punched in the face.
You have a lot of talent, a lot of interest. You know a lot about history. There was a period of time last year where I thought you might be an excellent debater, even, right? You know, somebody I could mentor over 4 years because we have a lot of interest in common, and you have, you know, a gift.
Is he your guidance counselor?
No. And, you know, to have that person turn around and do this to me and, you know, derail the class entirely.
This is literally like, it sounds like one of those rape accusations.
Yeah.
So who's been affected by
I think he's not lying. Alex probably did call him Randall.
No. All I'm gonna say is his comments were not.
Who's been affected by what I did?
Anywhere close.
Alex, you just say he's
well,
lying.
you are.
I'm not gonna call off lying. I was gonna say it's interesting how you chose to include and not include certain things that you had said. But
no, Alex, if he's lying, you have to say he's lying.
So
there's nothing
about
saying he's lying.
It's like a third, you know, not quite half.
Record the call.
I mean, there's nothing you can even lose in this debate.
Wait, but then aren't the calls recorded?
No.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
It's okay. I'll go into the next question.
Ask him if the calls are recorded.
You need to do to make things right.
You say,
What
the
Alex
camera
needs to do is what you need to do.
They malfunctioned.
You know, basically, reach out and have an
Epstein
avenue
cameras.
of correspondence. Like I opened a Zoom call that Friday afternoon withAlex, trying to get him on board.
The Pentagon cameras.
Even
Oh no, the 86 cameras. They
realized that there need to be some calls. So I stayed late on Friday. I had to play.
He's laughing at how much of a loser Alex is not being
trying to reach out to Alex. So I'm trying to do the right thing here. Like, because the whole education process is built on relationships.
He's still talking. This guy's still talking.
He's still going.
Right, and so
So I just go. To me, it sounds like you're trying to save your job.
Threatening people.
I'm still recording, eh?
Right. I still.
It's a crime.
My obligation to help you, Alex.
I've never been threatened in my life. I'm just 52 years old.
So I'm doing my part, trying to set aside, you know, my hurt, my pain.
Harassment.
You're hurt, your pain.
So that's what I'm trying to do.
Dude, it's a 50.
This guy talks like he cries in bed at night against this.
I'm gonna
You can't say
kind
that.
of
I
put
really
some
wish I could speak.
observations out there because I'm the person just asking the questions in the middle, and
Just ask.
it appears like from what I heard, and see if you guys can tell me if you agree. All right. So Mr. Smith has said that he actually has his class at the default setting to go to mute. Is that accurate, Mr. Smith? All right, so
if you don't mind me, this has been at least on my computer. This has happened multiple times. When you join this class, it keeps your mic muted. Or excuse me, unmuted. I have to manually mute the mic every time I join this class. That could be something on my end. That could be something on his end. If the setting's not being set up correctly. But I am 1000% confident that the system on his on the Zoom call automatically leaves your mic as unmuted. It's happened on multiple occasions, and now as what's it called? As you know, to stop this from happening on further occasions, I manually mute my mic every single time. Let's assume that the call does automatically mute you. What would be the purpose of me unmuting my mic and starting to talk to my friends about politics? Why would I do that? Just out of curiosity. What do I have to gain by doing that? I don't see how that.
The trap. 40 checks. He's gonna say attention.
So Alex, first off, I appreciate that. And my suggestion would be, hey, next time you go into class, really pay attention to that, because I think that's like step one. All right, step one, regardless.
Not answer your question.
It's set up that there's that need once class starts, you're in class and you're not talking to friends. Fair enough. And regardless, and you can let Mr. Smith know, hey, you know what? It's not when I sign in. My mic is open automatically. I'm the person shutting it off, and then Mr. Smith can help problem solve that. Fair enough?
I'm not on my computer right now. I'm getting socks.
They asked you a question, Alex.
Yeah, I understand. I had to go grab something. Yeah.
So that's like, all right, step one.
And another question. Any reason? I've had this happen before in other classes by mistake, where I was typing and I was, every time I press the space bar, it unmutes your mic temporarily. And I was typing and I was talking to my little brother, and the teacher heard me, right? And they said, "Hey, your mic's not muted. You mind if you mute it?" My question to Mr. Smith is there a reason you chose to single me out and go after me after what was clearly a mistake, and after I profusely apologized, after you called me out?
During the call. You didn't apologize during the call.
Alex,
Yes, I did. I literally said, "I'm so sorry about that. That was a mistake. I didn't realize my mic was unmuted. I'm sorry about that." That wasn't my exact words.
Pull that up. Pull that up.
Confident in what I said.
Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Pull that up.
So, and regardless
Christine,
if
pull
the
it up.
exact words were said, Alex, I hear your passion. That
Your passion.
Passion to chew.
even in Mr. Smith, oh, is this thing on? I wasn't saying anything.
That's not what I said.
Alex, ask for a
You
recorded
were
call. Ask for a recorded
frustrated,
call. Say
and
it's lying.
from what I hear is,
He's lying blatantly. I want
No, just ask if they have the recording of the Zoom call.
is that
Because then you
accurate?
don't directly call them out for lying.
Yep. That at the start of the class last Friday, that you were frustrated and angry at being called out by Mr. Smith. Is that accurate?
Well, in my opinion, I just think he handled the incident in a really immature way. And like I said before, other teachers. I have nothing against Mr. Smith. I like talking to him thoroughly. I was just extremely frustrated going into the class period, which didn't help. I don't. In a much quicker way. Obviously, him just acknowledging the fact that my mic was unmuted and that I was talking, which was a mistake on my end. That's my only concern, is the fact that every other teacher, and I don't know if Mr. Smith has something against me personally or doesn't like who I am or whatnot, but every other teacher that I've spoken to where this has happened to me or another student, I've just politely asked them, "Hey, your mic's not muted. Do you mind if you can mute it?" And we'll have no issues, right? I don't see why he had to single me out and call me out repeatedly. And just going back on what was said and what we claim to now have said, are there recordings of the Zoom calls?
Yes.
I don't think there's a recording of this
Just do it.
particular one.
Interesting.
Mr. Smith can tell me, but I'm not going.
It's when their badge came off. It's
I'm
like the
not going
police.
to worry about that because it's more about.
Don't worry about that.
I remember Alex being in the call. I remember Alex being in the call.
Teacher
Both
brutality.
of you had a different interpretation. That
No, I'm gonna get us in the call. We were there.
All right, get us in the
Mr.
call.
Smith actually
We have
said
witnesses.
that's one of the
The
issues.
people he was talking to.
Yo, Randall, you sound like you can't satisfy your wife.
You don't. First off, he
hold
can't
on.
see your face because we know you don't have a camera, and that's not your fault. The computer you have at home doesn't have a camera, right? So it's really
Well, she
hard.
said
to
the camera was just on at the beginning of this call, and then
I dug up a camera. It's an old Logitech one. The resolution isn't too good on it. I can turn it on if you'd like it to.
Give it a shot. Let's see how it works. I know I'm speaking to your mom.
Oh.
You should just said.
And she was going to go try to find you one.
Yeah, I spoke to my dad afterwards 'cause I wanted to get a webcam for future instances, and he told me he had an extra one, and I found it in one of the drawers. I had to get it and plug it.
Okay. And while you're
shit.
doing
I'm just
that,
going to get Vaseline
Alex,
and putting it.
all right. I think number one, Mr. Smith
Don't
has
scare him,
heard
buddy.
your frustration. I
Dude,
hope
Mr.
you
Smith
have
does like,
heard
I was
Mr.
He does
scared.
know that she's not at his desk, right?
frustration as well.
It's like Alex is
That-
stark naked right now. He's sitting there talking to us.
A shirt completely off.
Hold on, guys. You gotta put clothes on. Hold on.
Put the camera back on.
Okay.
This is the stupid. I'm recording all of this. This is
Hey,
how I-
Alex.
let us know when you're ready.
Alex, you have to just call him off the line. You could ask any other student in the class. He's blatantly lying. I do not care anymore. I'm so frustrated right now. This guy is just such a douchebag.
You want to see Justin?
Be like it's on site, Smith. It's on site, Randall.
Start talking like you're from Scarface. Like, fuck your mask, fuck your
All
shit.
right, good.
Smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
So, Mr. Smith has very clearly heard your frustration the way class started.
I would laugh at it.
I hope
Oh no, Alex
that
can't
you
laugh.
hear his
Alex,
frustration
ripping cart, what you talking
and having class. a little
Alex, just go on the mic and yell, Randall Smith is a nigger, Randall Smith is a nigger.
Don't laugh.
I
Don't
just
make
hope
that.
that, and we both heard clearly
One
that,
wheel,
you wish things had transpired a little differently,
So
but I just
pixelated.
need your acknowledgement that, yep, I understand, Mr. Smith, you were frustrated.
The picture I just got.
Cheese to meet you.
So, do I have
Bad
you
of-
standing there?
No.
Oh yeah, I thought you were. I didn't think you were asking a question.
Mr. Maris is a pretty biased moderator.
Okay,
I
so
know.
I need you at that point too, right? And then, okay, things transpired, and then, Alex, how you dealt with your frustration at that point, right? And, yep, you might be thinking something in your head.
Bring in the witnesses.
How do you-
Bring in the witnesses.
That's that, that maturity, knowing your audience, all those things. And, Mr. Smith, when he was speaking, he referenced, we're about learning.
It was Alex at first.
Yeah, me
As a
too.
human being,
I was like, no way, he just did that.
We gotta make Alex
I
laugh.
made certain mistakes in my life that I still carry with me, and I'm not really proud of them.
Yeah, you carry a lot with you. Oh my gosh.
How do we move
He's
forward
huge.
and make it right?
Shouting
for
at the
people?
fatty.
So,
Quiet.
and I recognize,
Sobbing.
early on, but I think the real harm
Alex, you have to
was,
call him up for lunch.
hey, I want to
Have to, or it's you're in
knock your head
trouble.
off with some other adjectives, right? That's the
We'll
harm.
get Mr. Smith jailed.
You have to say
Alex, you
line.
muted. Your mic's muted.
It's not working.
It's not on Zoom, but
Mic's
you
not working.
You muted Alex.
I think you might have muted all of
You
it.
muted Alex.
He muted! Is he deafened?
Definitely.
He is deafened.
Oh no.
Maybe we just can't hear the stream.
No, he's undeafened.
Because she's nodding along like she knows what he's talking about. So
Wait.
I think
Can we not?
Oh, he
oh,
just
wait.
deafened. You can't hear when he's
Yeah.
They
deafened.
literally said that they have recordings of the
yeah.
calls.
Bro,
So
Alex is like, guys, I'm gonna fight the system. Okay, system, fuck my ass. No, I won't call you out. I won't call you out for blatantly lying. I won't bring up the record cans more than once, even though I know they recorded, even though I know you said they recorded. Now, recording say they recorded.
they probably have it in the school in the announcements,
So,
honestly.
and
on
Alex,
the
I really,
webpage.
first off, I really appreciate because
me find
within
it.
this conversation,
Alex, you
I
can walk the
heard
line.
you say, yep, I'm taking ownership, I'm apologizing, I probably could have handled things even at the start of class a little differently,
Yeah, but
right?
so could he have.
That, even though you're
There you go.
still frustrated
Alex,
by the
calm
way things
line.
transpired,
Shut up,
you
Justin.
just
Try and listen.
mentioned that.
The system.
Okay. You also mentioned, hey, Mr. Smith, do you have it out for me? So I want to give Mr. Smith a moment because
Yes,
one
I
thing
do
know
have it
about
out for you,
Mr.
Alex.
Smith
I mean,
is
no.
a short memory
Romanian. Who
when it
doesn't?
comes to, he knows students are imperfect. So, Mr. Smith, I turn it over to you.
I mean, I
He's
don't have
such
it
a
out
writer.
for you, Alex. In fact,
Sobbing.
I have high hopes for you. I think
Is he
you're
really
an immensely
crying
talented
without
person
watching?
with
He's like, I thought we were
a lot
friends.
of knowledge and a lot to give.
Alex, ask him
And
if he has a
I feel
Reddit account.
that, this course can be a contact
Of course,
group that
4chan.
you can
No.
realize those gifts and
Called
make the
9gag.
most of their potential. So no, but at the same time, we got to find a better way to deal with this. So
So he's not gonna apologize, Alex. Call it for line.
if I'm you, or rather the other way around, you're me, and this happens again. You enter the Zoom room and you're first of all, why are you chatting with friends in the first place during a class, right?
Uh-oh.
Say with Pastor Tom.
I was in between classes and I was
Yep.
talking to
There you
them.
No,
In
you
between.
were just going into another class. You're not between classes at that
There-
point.
there's a-
Are you?
Period.
Say,
There's a
say
period
it's
in
my
between.
choice to listen or not.
If I'm starting a lesson, I'm talking about where we're going through the agenda of what we're doing.
No, you
and
aren't.
you've been in the,
The
class
class
for
just
already
started.
30 seconds, right? Those other conversations should be over, right?
Do you think
I
they
think
know
that's a
watch?
respectful request, that when class starts, you're in class. If not, then don't be in class. Fair
Okay.
enough?
Yeah, Sakai not joining the class anymore.
Regardless of that, I was still paying attention to the class. I mean,
No, you weren't. You were talking.
Oh my
with somebody
god.
else. How can
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
They got him
was.
tripped
Yeah, I
up.
was.
They got him tripped up.
You were what?
I was talking to somebody else. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so you were not paying attention to me. You were not engaged with the lesson.
The
right?
the
So
class had
my
just
question-
started. We weren't even going over any material.
Yeah,
I had not said anything for the first. The reason I hadn't said something earlier because I wasn't talking to them, right? And when I started talking to them, it only became clear that my mic was muted at that point. If you're saying why did I start
So-
talking 30 seconds
So
late?
I'm going to jump in here
I really
because we're
don't
going to go
wanna talk
down
to this guy anymore.
this issue.
Rabbit
The
hole.
one thing, the
He's a
expectation,
debate
Alex,
teacher and
we
you're
just
winning.
do it on expectations. When you enter a class,
He's right.
you
I
enter the
don't
class
want to talk to
just
these
ready
people
to learn
anymore.
like you would in person.
He's like,
And
I gotta
so
remember my
if there are
training.
those other side conversations, they really can't infringe on.
Come on, remember
And
your
I
teacher.
think I heard Mr. Smith say this was the second time
His
something
head on
like
his-
that happened.
Please, oh
in his
God, Alex,
particular
come off the line. That'd be
class.
so funny.
If there's something you can do
Hilarious.
on your end, this is
what?
where he's making a request, and it's a reasonable request, that when you enter class, it's just you.
What do you want from me?
Fair enough?
Yes, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so that's resolved. Okay.
All right. So the next time you talk out of turn, what am I supposed to do if you're me?
Shut up.
Nothing.
Just tell me to not stop talking, or maybe remind me that my mic could be unmuted. What I still don't understand is why the situation. And I still haven't gotten a decent explanation for this.
Alex, I get mad.
Why couldn't as soon as that had happened, right? And it was clear that my mic was unmuted because I wasn't talking to anybody in the class. I was talking to somebody else, a private conversation with somebody else. I don't understand why, when that was made clear, why we had to. Why instead of, saying, hey, your mic's unmuted, or hey, you're talking, or you shouldn't be talking, whatever, why you had to call me out for looking for attention when it was something that was a clear and honest mistake. I still don't understand that, and I haven't gotten an answer for that.
Because I didn't understand what you were doing. You were talking in the middle of class.
Didn't he just say earlier
while a lesson was transpiring, and I
that
wanted
Alex
to
was trying to explain
so I
himself?
could continue. That's why.
And it's like,
I needed an answer from you,
bring it up,
because
bring it up.
otherwise I could not continue the lesson because you had taken over.
And
Say that again, Lucas?
I'm going to be that third party here, and I think that's where
Earlier,
that's
he
the
was
break,
talking about
right there,
something.
right? So
like,
you had
you kept explaining
like
yourself.
we had Mr. Smith as a teacher perceiving it as, hey, I just need the student to let me know that he's ready to move on, and I have a student who is saying, man, why is this guy pushing me and calling me out?
Six
And I'm
goblins.
saying I'm seeking attention because that wasn't my intent. Right?
What
And
did you
that's
say?
where the relationship broke.
Correct.
Am I accurate?
Yes, 100%. If this had been, hey, Alex, your mic's unmuted, could you stop talking, or anything like that, this had not gone to any scale. I'd been, oh, whoops, I made a mistake. Like I had said to him when I was explaining myself. It was a mistake on my end, and I've been, alright, I would have muted my mic, and it wouldn't have gone anywhere else. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why it was brought further than what it should have been. It was a clear mistake. And I don't that like I said, that's the thing I don't understand, why we kept on harping on that for no reason. But
And then, Alex, just like you can't go back and take back that statement that went out across.
let's see, now they're just trying to defend themselves
right?
because they know I'm right.
Mr. Smith, he made, when he was doing that, he can't go back and change that piece either, right? It's what happened. It's simply what happened. And I hope you both see each other's, like, how the other person was thinking
Absolutely.
during that time.
For me, there's still an open question.
Yep.
If and when it happens again, if you're me, what do I do?
Really
Fair
answer,
enough.
but
Your game plan here, Alex.
literally
What am I
answer, but
supposed to
okay.
do?
I don't know, you telling me to shut up, or hey, your mic's unmuted, or
Really?
anything of that scale.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
yeah,
the, I'm
yeah.
gonna
Quite
tell
frankly,
the teacher
that's
not to say
quite
shut
frankly,
up.
that's what if I had done that again, which let's assume again that I made another mistake, I would, in that situation, like any other teacher that had handled that up to this point, would have said, hey, your mic's
You're still not answering my question.
yes, I did.
I did.
Yeah, I've answered your question. You said, hey, no, you said, what should you do in that situation? I told you should tell me to mute my mic or be quiet. Either or. That works for me.
That's it.
I don't
And
want somebody
and what if you
harping
talk-
on
you
me in
keep
front of the
talking like you're
class.
talking right now.
You asked me a question.
Let's be fair. He asked him a question.
Alex, start kicking holes in your wall in the background.
And he was
No, the teacher has an option
fair.
to mute anybody in the class,
Alex,
doesn't he?
Alex, where'd you go?
Alex, don't come
Alex,
back,
literally
don't
a
come
teacher
back.
has the
Alex, don't
option to
come
mute
back.
anybody.
I heard your
The
response.
teacher literally has
The
the
only
option.
thing
You can like
that
click on your name or
you
something
need
and just
Mr.
mute you
Smith to do in
for
those
you.
situations, and you're making this promise that if he says, "Hey, Alex, I need you to mute or stop talking," you're going to stop right at that point, because the incident that happened on Friday, it kind
Oh
of
my god.
continued on, and you did continue to respond a little bit.
You kept
Right,
asking
so-
questions.
Can we come to agreement here that
Yes,
that
Mrs.
we're-
Damaris, but the reason I continued to respond is because he was asking me questions, and afterwards when he asked me the first question, I responded, and he took that as me, continuing the conversation and still disrupting him and still looking for attention.
Yeah.
So when he asked me the next question, and I didn't respond for 30 seconds, That's because I took it as, hey, he asked me this question, and he doesn't want me to respond to it, because clearly last time when I did, he got upset at me. So you have to understand this from my point. I just joined the class, I'm in front of 20, 30, whatever my peers, and I'm a teacher harping on me over what was clearly a mistake. And when I apologize and say, hey, I'm sorry, my mic was unmuted, he continues to keep going on the conversation. You have to understand that from my point, obviously, that's pretty embarrassing, right? Getting continuously berated about what was, what was clearly a mistake. And then, obviously it escalated. But you have to understand my frustration as well. Damn it.
All you had to do was say, yes, I'm done. And
Okay.
That's all you had to do, dude.
Right? And we can't go back and recreate that moment.
We could.
And I think,
Alex, be like, I know it's
something
camera
like this were
recording.
to happen
Bring it
in the
up.
future,
Bring it up,
what would
please.
you want
God,
of
bring it
me?
up.
And Alex was explaining, all I want you to do is tell me to mute myself. And
What I learned in boarding school is.
What I learned in boarding school is. That's it. And then if it were, and Alex, here's the deal. If it were to escalate again, then it's going to come right to me.
Did you just leave
Fair
the
enough.
call?
Yeah, of course, and I hope this doesn't happen again. And like I said, it was a mistake. I made a mistake. Obviously the first one and the second one. But yeah, I still don't appreciate the way it was handled. But I have no more comments. I'm not getting anywhere.
All right, and the other is, Alex, I know when you get frustrated, right?
Alex, put your pants up, Mr.
You need to have a toolbox, right? You can't resort to old behavior.
I'm just saying, stuck on this and just stick the webcam, stick it down your pants.
Stuck on these robots.
Shut up.
He's covering his face.
Shut up.
They're gonna be like, are you in the car now? Alex,
Stop, jump, and roll. We've called the same people.
Alex, say a little bit walking at you.
Say he was grabbing my... I just really concerned about my little brother grab my dick.
Maybe you can hold it for me.
He definitely.
Oh my god. That was so good. Suck on these robot nuts.
And then you're going to have to make your work from home stage a little more professional.
Please do that.
If those things are happening, and because the perception on this end is, okay, whatever I'm doing, you have no respect for me.
No, it wasn't that. I'm in my room and he's.
Alex, say little brother peed his pants.
I got it.
He's very, he's only 7, so he's very.
My little brother
grabbed my penis.
Yeah, but you have to.
Say you grab this massive schlong, this massive meat.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
I know you're.
Say it was like a gorilla swinging vine to vine.
But again, the imperfections of this.
Bro, we should play StarCraft.
You immediately deafened.
Ethan.
Yeah, play StarCraft.
So
play World War 3.
Just be very careful about that, because it comes across that way. And I don't want you again.
What was so funny earlier?
It's just you're just like, yeah, shove the camera down his pants and say, yes, got this, Randall.
Fair enough.
He literally just dives off the camera.
It was like 3 on-point jokes.
Lucas, did you record that?
Yeah, I've been all recording.
Are you all
Lucas, you have to upload that. The 3 on-point jokes and Alex just leaving.
Apology in front of the classroom as well.
Also, don't include what I said the end like 5 times.
I've just been recording the entire session.
Okay, well.
No.
Sky Jackson.
Skyjack.
It doesn't need
I still have that one clip of Justin saying, what was it?
And then the other piece is Alex, your commitment.
Yeah,
like a gorilla swinging vine to vine.
You know,
Alex actually shook his head and just deafened after that one.
You don't have friends in your headphones.
I saw him reach across his keyboard and just hit the deafen.
Going on that you're in class. And you're
Bro, tell him I got my headphones right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay,
They're sitting in my headphones.
Something were to happen, I don't really anticipate another issue at the beginning
Like
of
an
class.
hour
If it
almost.
were to happen at the beginning
It
of
has
class.
been an hour.
It has.
Smith would
Oh no,
correct
it's been
you
like
that
40
one time,
minutes.
No,
and
it
It's
hasn't.
you would
10:50.
just
It started
follow
at
what
Yeah,
you-
it's-
10:40.
No, it's right at 10:05.
Is that
Oh, I
accurate?
thought we were at 10:05.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's already
Then I'm going to
10:05.
follow up with you regardless.
Yeah, it's
in
almost an hour
regard to
Just say, yeah, Leonard Smith, you can
rules
follow up
in
on these
regard to
nuts! Just leave.
That'll be a separate.
Alex,
Yeah,
you're
I
smacking
know.
your ass gets cameras.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, look at this pussy,
All right.
Mr. Randall.
I think we're all set.
Start beating your bare ass cheeks like a gorilla beating his chest.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
That way.
Randall's literally a Reddit, right?
Dude, that was so funny.
What
Oh
a
my gosh.
Bro, I got that on recording.
You guys got me fucking cracking up, and they're sitting there, and I just.